I got the Spurs, an honorable mention.
My God, how many honorable mentions do you have?
Hold on, you gotta let me get to it, okay? The Spurs. Wemby is gonna have a fantastic year. I think he's gonna make third team All NBA. My last honorable.
Come on, you have the whole. So basically, anybody who didn't make your top 10 is just honorable mention.
No, okay. Yeah, I didn't have the Portland Trailblazers honorable mention. Dude, you know this last year, Booker, KD, Beal all played 50 games and under.
They're going to play more this year.
This is former Chicago Bear Desmond Clark. And y'all hear me on many podcasts, but when y'all hear me on Pick'em Pros, y'all know it's all about family. This ain't just business.
We're coming back tonight. We're going to tie it up 2-2, go back to Golden State, then 3-2, and then we're going to control the series.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derek Thompson.
And I'm Diego Thompson.
And who are we?
We're the Pick'em Pros.
We are the Pick'em Pros coming back at you in the house with episode 49 of Who You Got. This is the last episode of season 1. It is July 4th, time of recording, Tuesday. So happy 4th of July, everybody. What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, NBA offseason summer league started last night. Actually, got to see Brandon Miller and Chet come out. Haven't really seen them in a while, and then I got to see my Padres beat Shohei Ohtani. Apparently he's the best baseball player ever, and the Los Angeles Angels. So yeah, repping this, and my guy Tatis got snubbed from All-Star team. Okay. So yeah, I'm with you, man.
Well, I don't think he got snubbed. I think everybody just wants to see him be clean for a year. So if he's clean for a year and doesn't get suspended, then
the numbers are amazing. I think they should let him out. I mean, come on.
Nah. We need to know that he is not on the juice or on the gas or whatever.
I trust him, man.
Trust your guy. Okay. Yeah, All right. We're coming at you from North Carolina. So, rocking the Carolina Hurricanes here, coming at you from North Carolina. This boy here, I don't know what the Padres on.
We don't have a baseball team. We have the Mudcats, and we don't have a major league. We don't have a major league.
Yeah, we got minor. We're repping on minor, man.
Carolina, I got Bulls and Mudcats, but I had to go all the way out to Cali to find a baseball team.
So. All right. Well, they do tie into your name, so I guess I kind of get that. So we'll let you ride with that, man. And special shout out to Zaxby's of Clayton, our sponsor. Big shout out to Rob and the Zaxby's of Clayton crew. We really appreciate them, appreciate all the love. And speaking of Zaxby's of Clayton, they were a very generous and great sponsor of our Tweens and Technology Camp. To camp that we run annually for kids to teach them how to code and introduce them to other facets of technology. So that was a lot of fun, man. So shout out to Zaxby's for providing lunch for that. And and then shout out to you for dedicating your week. I know you were coming off a week of basketball camp at NC State. Oh, yeah. That was an awesome camp. And then they had camp again the following week, but you decided to help us with Tweens and Tech and volunteer your time to help with that. So we appreciate that.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I just dominated so much at the state camp. I just had to. I think the students had enough of me, so they had to give them a break.
I don't know about that. You were the first one in. Typically, you did put in work. Had some long days, man. It was like 9 to 8. So y'all were balling for a long time. But that was an awesome camp. Shout out to NC State and the camp that they put together. That was a really nice experience there. And then at Tweens and Tech camp, then we're going to get to our basketball, because today we're talking about NBA. So we're talking about NBA free agency, and we're going to give you our way too early NBA predictions. We're going to give you our seeds 1 through 10. We're going to tell you who's going to make the finals or who's going to win the finals. This is our way too early prediction for that. So excited to bring you that. But before we get into that, with Tweens and Tech, man. So I know you were out there. We were playing cornhole, playing football, and you were trying to run some routes. You were running routes on the little kids, and then I had to just step in. I couldn't take it anymore, man. I had to step in and shut you down.
So what you were doing? You were holding me. You were clearly holding me. You were tugging my shirt. You actually literally picked me up in the air. I had a step on you. I was like, did my route right, and you just had to, as I was about to blow right past you, pick me up in the air. So he stopped my route. So
hey, the ref didn't call it. It was an incomplete.
There were no refs. It's a summer camp, dude.
Well, hey, it was incomplete. Yeah, I did my job and shut you down. As technology, always, baby. Yeah, man. All right. Well, let's get on to these picks, man. You ready to talk NBA? Is the last time we're gonna talk NBA for a while, man.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, because as we kick off season 2 kicks off mid-July, so that episode will probably come out July 15th. We'll record it the 13th or 14th. That'll be out by Saturday the 15th, and that's going to be the start of our fantasy football rankings. So season 2, episode 1 coming out by July 15th, and we will start with our wide receivers. So we're going to rank our top 10 fantasy wide receivers, and every week we're coming out with new shows, running backs, quarterbacks, tight ends, and then we'll rank playoff positions. So we're going into football in another week and a half. All right. Well, finish off with basketball. So free agency, man. You called it. You said Fred VanVleet would be, probably the biggest free agent. If he went to a contender, we felt that he would probably then, make that contender, win the championship. He clearly didn't go to a contender. But what's your thoughts on Fred VanVleet?
Well, shout out to Fred VanVleet, man. He got a bag. He's doubling what he made. Yes. He made last year. He made about 22 million. About 21. Now he's gonna be making about 43 million a year. So shout out to him and getting the big payday. And I did think that he was gonna have a big impact on team if they're a contender, because then, as we saw, sorry for fellow Warriors fans, but saw him make big shot after big shot against us in the NBA Finals. Not Kyle Lowry, that was Fred VanVleet. So yeah, he was doing his thing, and now I think he's gonna elevate the young guys in Houston and maybe make them a contender someday.
Whew, man, I like a lot of what Houston's doing. They're definitely spending some money. They've got Udoka, who, can coach defense for sure, and got some good pieces. So it'll be interesting to see how they do this year. And we'll definitely give our rankings on where we think all the NBA teams are going to fall in just a minute. But I'm high on Fred VanVleet. Think he's a great pickup for anybody. I was hoping the Celtics would get him. I felt that would have really just put them over the top. Pipe that they got Porzingis, and I think that'll help put the Celtics over the top, balance the roster a bit. But I was really hoping they could get Fred VanVleet. I thought it was just going to be perfect.
That would have been a lot of money to spend, though, since they're going to be paying Porzingis around the $30 million mark for the next couple of years. So
they would have had to do a sign and trade. Probably would have had to let Jaylen Brown go. But I think Fred VanVleet would be a good fit. All right, so Damian Lillard, Dame Dollar. We were waiting to film this because we were hoping he would land wherever he was going to land before we film, but we just couldn't wait any longer. So at time of recording, he still does not have a destination, although he has made it clear that he prefers to go to the Heat. So he does not have a no trade clause, but that is his preferred destination. Where will Dame Dollar end up?
Well, I still think he's going to end up with Miami, because I think, he's done a lot for them and they have lots of respect for him. So I think Miami will probably up their offer a little bit and they'll send him there. But I would not outrule actually the Boston Celtics in this thing. So because Jaylen Brown has a big extension offer coming up, and I think if he trade him to Portland, then he'll sign that, and then he'll have his own team, and he'll be able to do that. And him and Scoot, and then if you move Dame to the Celtics, then they become definitely title favorites, I think, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And then he's a better passer than Jaylen Brown. He's a better shooter than Jaylen Brown. And you know who's getting the ball in the clutch. That's gonna be Dame. And he's also a way better ball handler. So he's not gonna get the ball stripped from him as he's dribbling up the court or dribble off the split or anything like that. So I think it's a good fit if they get Dame. And that'll definitely for sure make them title favorites. Yeah, I'm not outruling that, but I still think that he'll get his wish and go to Miami.
Yeah, I think he'll end up in Miami. I think they're going to pull another team into it. So I agree that of course, if Dame ends up in Boston, then Boston thinks it's a slam dunk, and that would be a great trade for Portland. They could get Jaylen Brown. I think he'd be a great fit there, but I think he's going to end up in Miami. I think they'll pull a third team in it and make it work for everybody. So I think somehow he's going to end up in Miami. If it's not Miami, I think it would be Philly. That would be my second. That's where I think he should go, but I think he's going to end up in Miami. But I think being paired up with Embiid would be sick. I think Philly should get rid of Maxey now while his stock is super high. I mean, people still think he's going to be, a big star. And so I think now's the time to trade him because I don't think he's going to be as great as a lot of people think he is. So his value is super high. It's just like how they should have traded Simmons a year or two before they ended up trading him. They could have got big return for him. So I think if they could package Maxey up, and they're saying they're not going to trade him, but that they're probably, saying that in case they don't, right? Some type of way. But I could see them still. I think they're going to try to package him and make something happen there. But at the end of the day, if I had to predict, I'd say he's going to end up in Miami. So I think they're going to pull a third team in and make that happen. Now, the bigger question is, where is James Harden going to end up?
Jeez. This is tough because I don't think he's going to have a huge market, actually. Because I don't think he's going to be that attractive of a player. A lot of these teams have their cores, and I don't know if he's really a needle mover for anybody. So as Dame, I think it's a needle mover. So if I had to predict, I would say the Clippers. I guess because I heard he wants to go there, and then him and I don't know, Paul George and Kawhi want him. So I think that would be the best prediction. Yeah. So I think there's still maybe a chance he stays in Philly. Actually, maybe they convince him and the market's not that big. So I think either he stays in Philly or goes to the Clippers.
Yeah, I agree. I think one or the other. If he ends up somewhere, I think it's the Clippers as well. But I can see him staying because I don't really know how much the Clippers want him. And then they already re-signed Westbrook. So do they want Westbrook and Harden? So right. Yeah. So interesting to see how that unfolds. All right. Well, man, let's get to our predictions, our rankings for next season. Last year, man, we were pretty close, man, pretty much on point with a lot of these. Again, what folks have to understand is that, especially with the West is so stacked. You're going to have, just like last year, a game separating, a game or two separating, a lot of these seeds, third, it's going to be super tight. We had a lot of Raptors fans because you and I had, them 9th and 10th. I forget who had, I think you had them 10th.
I had them 10th.
Yeah. And it fell pretty much just like that. And a lot of Raptors fans were getting on us saying, "Oh, it's crazy. They're going to be fourth and all that." And we're like, "Okay, how's that going to happen?" And you made no moves, and you're
Made the
relying
exact
on,
same.
yeah,
Relying on Scotty Barnes making a second year jump, and he did the exact same.
Scotty Barnes, exactly. It's funny. Scotty Barnes reminds me of Maxey. How again they were valuing Scotty Barnes so high, they could have got so much for Scotty Barnes.
Could have got KD.
Yeah, they saw all this upside. And now I think they're starting to realize might not be as much upside.
Well, they're letting Fred VanVleet walk. So I guess you're really betting on Scotty Barnes, and they're not really, they haven't made any other moves. So I guess they're really betting on him still.
Yeah, for real, they definitely are. So anyhow, so man, it's time to make these predictions one more time. So we'll let you take it first. Who's your West prediction from 10 to 1? Go ahead and give it to us. Now, again, this is before the play-in. So this is just the end of regular season.
Okay.
What are the top seed? What are the 10 seeds going to be at the end of the regular season before the play-in?
All right. So I'm going to start with 10. 10, I got the Houston Rockets finishing at 10th because I think Fred VanVleet's impact, he's still in his prime. He's going to make the young players better. Around him, like Jalen Green and Kenyon Martin and Amen Thompson, the Thompson twin, and like they got some pieces. Jabari Smith and the guy from Phoenix they brought in, he played well every time he got in the game. So now him, and then they got Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks, he's a great defender. Brings aggressiveness and toughness, and he got paid, so I think happy for him, and he's gonna like that, and then he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder because Grizzlies gave up on him and said they weren't gonna re-sign him in May, so he's got a chip on his shoulder from that. Udoka also has a chip on his shoulder. He's gonna prove he can still coach. And take his team from the bottom and the 15 seed all the way to the 10th seed. And he's a fantastic coach. So I think he's gonna help that team a lot. So that's why I got Houston finishing 10, and Jalen Green might have a really good year next year. So,
I hope you're right.
All right, yeah. So number 9, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves because Ant-Man, I think. He finished off the year well, even though they didn't win, they lost in 5 games, but he played really good in the Denver series.
Yeah,
and he was really all they had. And then Cat, I don't know what's gonna happen with him, but if he comes back, stays healthy, because he only missed a lot of time last year, so he stays healthy. And I think with him and Rudy, you have some offense and some defense, a little mix and match. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think those, and they looked really good in the playing game against the Lakers. So they have some potential. And they lost Prince, they lost Torian Prince, they lost D'Lo earlier, but I think they still have a shot to be good if he's around those players. So those are my 9 and 10s, and I have some honorable mentions from those spots.
What?
Because since the West is so deep, I couldn't. I know some people are gonna slam me for this. Oh, what about Zion? What about Wemby? So I'm gonna give you some honorable mentions. So I got the Pelicans as an honorable mention. Okay, and I have them as an honorable mention because Zion, he seems to get hurt a lot, and I can't seem to bet on Zion. If he's healthy, then it could be good. But I have a feeling that it's just going to be the same old thing, and he's going to get hurt again. And then I like BI, and he's going to keep him in contention. So, but I don't know if you have BI as your best player, that he can lead you to the top in this stacked West. Okay, that's an honorable mention. I got the Spurs an honorable mention.
My God, how many honorable mentions do you have?
Hold on, you gotta let me get to it. Okay. The Spurs, Wemby is going to have a fantastic year. I think he's going to make 3rd team All-NBA as the 3rd center. But his supporting cast is iffy. I think he's going to have to get used to it in his rookie year. So yeah. And then OKC. love OKC what they did last year. I love what they did last year with Shea made All NBA, and then Chet looked really good in summer league, people. So he's gonna come in, he's gonna make an impact. They're young core. So yeah, I got them. My last honorable.
Come on, you have the whole. So basically, anybody who didn't make your top 10 is just honorable mention.
No, I didn't have the Portland Trailblazers an honorable mention. So they're gonna finish last in the West. Sorry, but the Jazz are an honorable mention because they got the All-Star Laurie. They brought in John Collins and Walker Kessler, and they have tons of draft picks. Colin Sexton, they got some guys. So I think that it's going to be a tight Western Conference. It's going to be really tight. So those teams are also going to be in the mix. So yeah.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Okay. Now I'm move to the actual playoffs, the big dogs, the guys who each and every one of these teams are strong. Okay. The number 8 seed, I got the Clippers. Okay. The Clippers. I want to have them higher, but again, the West is just so loaded, and Kawhi and Paul George, can't trust them injury wise. So I think Russ is gonna do well, play hard and everything. But I think Kawhi. I don't think you can bet on Kawhi and Paul George anymore because they're injured all the time. 7, I got the Sacramento Kings. They had a really good year last year. I think they solidified themselves as a playoff team, and they will be able to light the beam for a play-in game. So that play-in game, that 7-8 playoff game, they'll light the beam at home. So congratulations for that. And you get and the only thing I don't like about it is that they seem to be keeping the same people. They extended Sabonis to a massive contract, 5 years, 214. Okay, so I think that might be a tad bit of an overpay, stating how he played in the playoffs. So, King 7 seed, just because of that. I think you really have to make big moves to improve in the West. Okay, so
not a little Golden State Warrior bias. I think that might be a little bias.
You don't know where I have the Warriors.
I'm just saying that might be a little bias. The crowd was chanting, we want the Lakers. Go, let's go Lakers. At the end of Game 7.
Well, isn't that because they lost? Though?
Yeah,
gotta think about it like that. It's because the Kings lost, and because Curry got that 50. Got that 50 in Game 7.
All right.
Man, it's crazy.
Let you go.
All right, number 6. I got my guy Luka and both my guys actually, Luka and Kyrie, finishing 6th in the West. And I think that you could make an argument for them to be higher with the talent level they have between Luka and Kyrie, 2 of the best players in the league, 2 of the most talented in the league. But I just think, again, the West is crazy, and then injuries could happen with Kyrie, and I think he is happy there because Kyrie did get paid. I think that if he gives them a whole offseason together, they will learn to play together, and they'll use each other's strengths. And then they added size. I think they'll play JaVale McGee more.
Had to do that.
Which I think they needed to do. They didn't play him a whole lot. And I think if you play him, he'll be key piece. And then Derek Lively, I think he underachieved at Duke a little bit. But, he's a good rim protector. He's a good rim protector. He's 7 feet tall, so he better be. And then he's a good defender. He can block shots. So that's a solid draft pick for them. Okay. So I think they're going to finish 6. 5, I got the Grizzlies because even with Ja's 25-game suspension, who knows? They might trade Ja because, they got the Desmond Bane signed him to a bigger deal than Ja. So who knows? So I wouldn't rule that out, but I think they're going to finish 5th. Desmond Bane going to play good. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. They're all going to step up, and they usually seem to play pretty good without Ja anyway. So I think they can hold it down. And then if he comes back, then he's gonna do what he does. Do what he does. Play really well and elevate them. So have them finishing 5th. 4, I got the Phoenix Suns, and this is you could say this is a stretch here. You could say that they should be lower, they should be higher, but I think this is exactly where they need to be because they have some star power, right? They got KD, they got Beal, and they got Booker, and they got Ayton. Okay, everyone else is pretty much on minimum contracts, but with that, they did okay. Man, they got campaign on the bench. They got Eric Gordon, who's okay. They got Utah Watanabe, who played good in Brooklyn, off the bench. So they got him, and this team is okay. I think they did good with what they had, but they do have major defensive concerns. Who is going to guard? If KD might be the best defensive player on the team, which I don't think that's a good thing. You can make a case for Ayton, but yeah, and then who knows how Beal, Booker, and KD are going to play together? Who gets the ball last minute? Like it's going to be, I don't know. So I'm just going to have them 4th. I think this is a solid spot for them to be in. Number 3, I got Golden State. Okay. Could say I could have them higher. I realize that the Golden State isn't a regular season powerhouse anymore. Like even when they won the championship, they were the 3 seed in the regular season. They were 6 seed last year. So I just think this is solid. You know, when they won the championship, they're a 3 seed. I have them a 3 seed again. Hint, maybe. Who knows? But I got Chris Paul running I think Chris Paul is a great addition, running the second unit. Did you hear what Draymond had to say? He said on Paul George. He said that Chris Paul is going to unlock Jonathan Kuminga and his growth.
Really?
So I think there's
they definitely need to unlock it because they're way too small. So yeah, he needs to get more playing time. So
they got of course Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney, and I like what they got off the bench. You got, especially if Steph is out, I think Chris Paul can run the team, orchestrate the offense, and hold things down. You got him, Gary Payton, defensive stopper. So it helps our defense a little bit. We got Moody. He needs to step up if we gotta do big things. So I think he can. Chris Paul get him the ball a little bit. Then we got Kuminga, of course, who people saying is gonna unlock. And we actually got a steal in the second round of the draft. We got Tyrese Jackson Davis out of Indiana. I looked back. And he averaged 20 and 10 in college, 19 10 in college. He put up big numbers in college. So I think I don't know how much playing time he's going to get, but I think he could be a late round steal. So
I think that's a great point. I think that's a great point. Yeah.
He played really good in college, but since he played all 4 years, people really underestimated him and he fell in the draft. So yeah, I think that's going to be a 3rd seed, solid place for them.
Okay.
Number 2, I got the LA Lakers. So
wow.
I got them because big moves they made. So I like the big moves they made with LeBron AD, holding it down. Then you got Vanderbilt.
Are you a Laker fan now?
I'm not a Laker fan. This is just what I think is gonna happen, and then because they re-signed Rui, they got Vanderbilt, there's some defense, they got Prince 3-and-D guy, they got Gabe, Benson, they got off the bench. Cam Reddish out of Duke. He can really ball. He's kind of moved around the league, but he's a really good player. So got Cam Reddish. Then of course, we re-signed D'Lo and Austin Reeves on solid contracts. So I think that the depth, the balancedness, they're really balanced. They got some depth. So they can go like 10, 11, 12 deep. So I think that, and they can hold it down while LeBron and AD are out. So I got them. Then number one, I got the Nuggets because they're bringing the band back. They got the same starting five that was amazing. I don't think anyone can really stop Jokic. You know what Murray, Aaron Gordon, and Michael Porter Jr. can do. But I think that's easy. So Nuggets on top. So that's my list.
Okay. Got it. All right, good. Fine. It took you about 20 minutes to go through that list, but that's okay. Yeah, man. Good list. Good explanation, good commentary. Yeah. Great points there. Disagree with some of these here. We do have a few similarities, but then some differences. So first off, I don't have any honorable mentions, not doing that mess. If I thought that highly of the team, I would have put them in. So I don't have any honorable mentions like my co-host.
Okay.
All right. I'm just straight up. All right. So number 10, I've got the Minnesota Timberwolves as the 10th team. So I believe you have them 9. I have them 10th. Think they do have some personality conflicts. First of all, the West is just stacked. So ton of teams here. So even if they play very, very well, I think they talent-wise are higher than a 10, but they take bad shots still. They're undisciplined, and I feel that they're going to wind up in that 10th. I could see them as high as 9, but I don't see them much higher than that, especially with how well I think some of these other teams in the West are going to be this year. It's going to be a tough road for Minnesota this year, and you're going to continue to have that clash between, now Ant-Man, is Ant-Man the guy, between him and Cat, how's that going to be? So we're going to see there, but I have them at 10. Number 9, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. I think they are again, the West is stacked, right? West is stacked here, but Josh missing 25 games. So we're going to really see just how well they play without him, because this is going to be one of the longest stretches here. You've got Desmond Bane. I love the fact that they have a guy from Boston. I hate that he left Boston, but Marcus
Smart.
Marcus Smart. We got they got Smart in Memphis. I think he's going to be a great pickup, but I think it is going to be a bit of a letdown with Ja being gone for so long, and they're going to struggle for a bit. But I feel that they will wind up in the 9th spot. Number 8, I've got the Pelicans. No honorable mention here. I think Zion is going to play his fair share of games, and they are going to come in, and they'll probably start off very well. Again, last year when they were healthy, they were at the top of the West, and then they had their injuries and they slipped. I feel that this year, again, will be another play-in situation this year, but Zion will play in the play-in tournament this year and get them into the playoffs. So he will do his 360 windmill dunks actually in this time. All right. So we've got the Pelicans at number 8. Number 7, I have the LA Clippers. They, I think you had them at 8, so we pretty much have them in the same spot again. Ty Lue, really good coach. They have a stacked roster, great roster. They will load manage. They'll have their injuries, and they'll wind up in the play-in. They will be a very dangerous team in the playoffs. What everyone should be nervous about with the Clippers this year is that I believe that their guys are going into contract years. So if they're ever going to finish the season off with all their guys, it's this year. So they're going to be a dangerous out, and they're going to be a contender to actually go to the finals this year.
They are.
This 1 year. So Clippers are dangerous. Then I, like you, have the Dallas Mavericks at number 6. I love what they've done as far as bringing some size, bringing some defense. And Kyrie and Luka will play better together, and they have a more rounded out roster this year. So I believe they will be at number 6. Number 5, I have the Golden State Warriors at the number 5 spot.
5?
Yep, have them at the number 5 spot. They are going to load manage, as we all know. They're going to load manage, and they're going to have knick-knack injuries. But they will avoid the play-in, pretty much just like they did last year. So they were 3 a couple years ago, 6 last year. This year they'll be right at 5. So I think that's where they'll be. Playoffs will be a different story.
Man.
But the way that they will approach the regular season, the way that they'll play their entire bench, the way that they'll have games where they sit literally Chris Paul, Clay, Steph, Draymond, when they go to Detroit, they'll sit the whole starting 5. They're going to take about 10, 12 games where they do that. So, yeah, they're going to finish number 5. They're not going to finish top 3 when you're sitting the entire starting lineup for 10 games a year.
They have a chip on their shoulder this year.
Yeah, but they're going to pull that out in the playoffs. They're too old to sit here and have a chip for the entire regular season. So they're going to pull that out in the playoffs. Number 4, I have the LA Lakers at number 4. I think that's a more reasonable and realistic spot for them.
Solid.
That's still pretty high, but believe that they will kind of take a more serious approach with the regular season and get a little bit of a higher seed so they can have home court in at least 1 or 2 rounds this playoff season. And they have more young guys that can kind of carry things. So I believe they'll be at 4. Number 3, light the beam. We've got the Sacramento Kings.
Are you serious? Out of everybody, you got the Kings 3.
With that historic offense, they're going to be running and gunning all.
Their offense is not historic.
This is not the playoffs. We're talking regular season, right? This is where they are. They're going to be lighting that beam. They're going to be fired up. And I think 3rd is a good solid spot for them. They will. I think they'll get out the first round this year. I think number 3 is a good spot for them. Number 2, I have the Phoenix Suns at the 7th.
At 2?
A lot of folks have them favored to. Well, Boston's favored more to win the championship, but Phoenix is favored to come out of the West. What are you talking about? Phoenix number 2. They're so
top heavy.
They're top.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Heavy. Did I say they were going to win the championship? Did I say they're
going to have them 2?
I have them as the regular season number 2 seed.
Dude, do you know this last year? Booker, KD, Beal all played 50 games and under.
They're going to play more this year. They're going to play more.
Barely play.
They're going to play more this year.
Man.
Phoenix Suns, number 2 seed. That's a good little spot for them. They'll have home court for the majority of the playoffs, except if they play the number 1 seed, which I agree with you, would be the Denver Nuggets. They're just so loaded, so tough. I don't think they're going to necessarily push to try to get the number 1 seed, but I feel that by default, with as talented as they are, they will end up with that number 1 seed. There's no team in the West that I felt that I could put in the number 1, spot ahead of them. So they kind of fall there by default. But that's what I've got for the West. All right. Okay. Okay, man. So some similarities, some differences. Again, we agree with the Mavs. We got Clippers around the same spot. Again, I have the Pelicans in and you don't. I think that's the only difference as far as teams that we have in our top 10.
Yeah.
You have the Rockets. I have the Pelicans. I love the Rockets. I hope they get in. It's just that the West is so stacked. Who are they going to dump? And I feel that the Pelicans will be healthy enough to edge them out and be there. So that's mine. If the Rockets do make it, I think then maybe the Timberwolves may have so much dissension, or even the Grizzlies. I think one of those teams would be 2 of the teams that they would have to beat out. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the East. We've got to speed it up a little bit here. So let's go through this list a little quicker. We've got the East. Give us your 10 through 1 seeds, and hopefully you don't spend 5 minutes with honorable mentions.
All right. Well, there's no honorable mentions because this is the East. So number 10, I got the Charlotte Hornets because I think LaMelo Ball is going to be healthy. He got Miles Bridges. Well, he's going to be fairly healthy. Miles Bridges is back. He got Brandon Miller. In there, he looked really good in Summer League. Got 18. Got Terry Rozier, who's still hanging in there because Michael Jordan loved him. So now that's 10, and I think they're going to have a bounce-back year. Number 9, got the Brooklyn Nets because they're loaded with role players, and they're all going to be hungry and try to get deals with contenders and get big deals. Okay. So yeah, I think they're gonna be okay. And then Miles Bridges, Mikal Bridges is gonna have a better year, have a full year with his own team. Yeah, I think they're gonna be solid at 9. And then number 8, I got the Bulls because DeRozan and Zach LaVine are both gonna have all-star level seasons.
Okay.
And we got the mic here, but then they are gonna have all-star level seasons. Mm-hmm. And I think they picked up Javon Carter from the Bucks to kind of play a little point for them.
Okay.
So pretty solid pickup. And then number 7, I got the Atlanta Hawks. I think Trae Young and DeJounte Murray are going to have their fair share of nights where they just blow up and lose their mind. Mm-hmm. But their defense is lacking. So that is why I don't think they could be a lot higher than them playing number 17.
Got a good coach, especially regular season coach.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think that's a good spot. Okay.
It's pretty solid for them. Number 6, I got the Heat. As of now, they don't officially have Dame yet. Right. Last year they're an 8 seed. This year I'm a 6 seed. In the regular season, I don't really think they're gonna, especially this team currently constructed, they're not gonna play to their hardest. Jimmy Butler is gonna coast through the regular season like he always does, and Bam is gonna play solid. So I think that with all these other teams, they're gonna finish 6th, and then they have their annual big playoff run. So that's how it is. Number 6, the Heat. And number 5, I got the Cavs, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay. They're going to be a good regular season team, just like they were last year. Really explosive with Mitchell, Garland, Evan Mobley playing good there. So them at number 5. Number 4, I got the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson.
I see your guys. So you get that respect level up. There you go.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. So I think they're going to have a solid year and finish 4 in the East. Number 3, I got the 76ers. Joel Embiid might be looking for a second MVP in a row. Who knows? And have him. Maybe Harden comes back. I don't know. But I know Embiid is going to be there, so I know they're going to be solid. Number 2, I got the Bucks. Got Giannis. They seem to be bringing the guys back together. Him, Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Brook Lopez. So he got the guys back. They still have some depth. So I think they're going to be a good regular season team and finish 2. Okay. Number 1, I got the Celtics because of their Porzingis addition, and add him to Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, the rest of the guys, and they're going to have a real good year. So that's them, number 1.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. You flew through that. So you got my Celtics. So you're finally on board with the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got them there. You like that Porzingis move, don't you?
Yeah, it's a nice move. Move.
Yeah. Maybe going to Boston. All right. Okay. Good list. We have let's see, a lot of similarities here. Disagree with your number 10. With the Hornets. I love the Hornets, hometown team. Hope to get there and check them out again this year. I just don't see them cracking the top 10 or getting into the playoffs this year. Ball, we're going to see what happens with him, but I think it may be a lot of the same. So in the number 10 spot, I have the Brooklyn Nets at number 10. Feel that they will get in. I think you had them at 9. I got them at number 10. At number 9, I have the Atlanta Hawks. Really wanted to have them higher, but there's just I don't know with Trey. I just don't think it's working with Trey in Atlanta, and just with the mix of the guys that they have. I think they've got to shake that roster up some kind of way. So they'll make it into the play-in. They'll have a great game in the play-in, and that'll be about it, just like they normally do. And then they'll probably shake up the roster going into next season.
Yes.
Number 8. Oh man, I think this team finally needs to break through with all of the top picks that they've been getting. I have the Orlando Magic. The number 8 seed.
I was thinking about Orlando. I was thinking about him for number 10, but
you were thinking about him, but you really don't believe in Banchero. So
I believe in it. Look at the supporting cat, dude. He's playing with what's his name? I don't even know his name. Oh my gosh.
He's playing with a bunch of lottery picks, is what he's doing. So he's gonna
he's playing with the guy that got drafted to the Sixers, number 1. Jeez.
Oh gosh, Fultz?
He's playing with Fultz.
Okay, well that doesn't count. That doesn't count. He's playing with a lot of other people other than Fultz. So we're not gonna count that. All right. But I got the Magic at 8. I think this is the year that they put it together. And I don't think they'll win in the play-in. So they'll have the 8, then they'll probably lose in the play-in and get bounced. But I think they'll finish at least high enough to get into the play-in. So I have the Orlando Magic number 8. I have my Chicago Bulls at number 7. Wish I could have them higher and not in the play-in. But by being at number 7, they should go ahead and make the official playoffs this year. So I've got my Bulls at number 7. I, like you, have the Miami Heat at number 6 as it stands right now. We don't know if Dame's going to get there, and even if he does, I'm sure they're going to be load managing. I'm sure they're just going to be positioning themselves for the playoffs. They're not probably concerned at all where their seed is, as long as they're eligible, because they went all the way from the bottom all the way to the finals. So I have them there. Number 5, I have the New York Knickerbockers, led by Jalen Brunson. Got them there. Again, they could finish higher. They play hard all the time. So it's, kind of going to be tight from here on. But I got them at number 5. Philadelphia 76ers, I have them at number 4. Again, we don't know what's going to happen with the roster. There's still a lot of unknown. What's going to happen with Harden? What's going to happen with Maxey? Do they bring a big person in? But as of right now, I have them at number 4. Cleveland Cavaliers, I have them at number 3. They're going to play extremely hard throughout the entire regular season. They're going to have a big chip. I'm sure they're very upset about getting bounced in the first round. And I think they're going to really come out night after night and try to beat everybody. So with that said, I have them at number 3. Number 2, I have the Boston Celtics as the 2nd seed. They're gonna there's gonna be a little bit of getting to know each other, bringing Porzingis in. They've had a long road. They had a lot of long seasons, so they're due for some injuries. There's just a lot. They may start load managing. They for the last several years have been at the top and have had super long seasons. So I don't see them having the number 1 seed again. I think they'll finish at number 2, and they can go 70% and kind of close to that number 2 seed. So I see them finishing there. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, by getting bounced in the first round in an embarrassing fashion last year, I think Giannis is going to be on a mission. And they've got Middleton back. Hopefully they'll have a little more health this year. And I feel they're going to be a very tough team to beat in the regular season. And I think they're actually gonna coast to that number one seed.
Okay. So, I mean, if Giannis plays at his top level, no one can really stop him. And then, but they are the oldest team in the league, though. So that's
they are. But even with their style of play, a lot of below the rim guys. Giannis is the most athletic, but even with him, it's more hustle. You know what I mean? He's not jumping up in the air and falling on the ground 20 times a game and all that like Tatum. So, I think Will.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fairly okay. So I've got them at the number 1 seed. All right. So, man, let's get into. Actually, I got a curveball. I didn't even ask you this, so this is going to be on the spot. I've got an on the spot question for you, and then we're going to get into our NBA Finals predictions. So, who wins MVP next year? We hadn't even talked about that, and that's totally off the wall for you. So I'm throwing that at you, curveball. But and this is way too early, so we're not holding you to it. We'll do it again. We'll do this again once the season starts, and just basically, and we'll compare to see if we think anything has changed based on the final offseason move. So we'll revisit this again. But as it stands right now, who do you think will be MVP?
I think it's gonna be Giannis.
Yeah,
he because he is Jokic got the back-to-back and he got the championship. He's kind of he stole his best player in the world thing. So I think it's gonna be on a mission and try to at least get that MVP back. So
that's a good one. That's a good one. I can see that. I think either him or Luka's always a favorite going in every year, and he put up huge numbers this past year, but then with Kyrie coming and then losing all their defensive guys, that took any chances he had. But
if they finish as a top 4 seed and he puts up the same numbers, then I think he could get it.
I think he's got
never got it before. So
so we'll see where that. We know Joker's going to be in the run as long as he's healthy. Joker will be there, and then people will want to. Those that feel that he should have got it last year will then want to make up for that. So you're going to have that as well. All right. So, who you got in the NBA Finals?
In the NBA Finals, I got the Nuggets and the Celtics.
Woo! Nuggets and Celtics. Oh, man. So, you got the Nuggets running it back, getting to the Finals. You don't have the Warriors. And
I have the Warriors going to a game 6 or 7 in the Western Conference Finals.
Okay. So you have to mention that.
They need one more. They need another big, and then I think they can go to the next level. But as it stands right now, I got the Nuggets coming out the West.
Nuggets and Celtics. Okay. All right. I've gone back and forth with this. I have the Celtics going for sure. The Heat. I think the Celtics are going to play the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals yet again.
Yeah, but so, especially if they get Dame.
Yeah, but I think the Celtics are more balanced this year, and then we don't know what else they're going to do. But I think the Celtics will be in better position. The Bucks are going to be tough, but I think some of the code's been cracked on the Bucks, especially in the playoffs. Yeah. So I don't know. They can get there for sure. There's no doubt. Philly, depending on what they do, that'll be interesting to see what happens there. But they'll be eligible as well. But I think at the end of the day, if the Celtics stay healthy, Celtics will get back to the finals and try to finish it this time. As far as the West, so you've got Nuggets, Celtics. I've got Celtics as well. I've gone back and forth. The Clippers are going to be very dangerous because I feel
I would not bet on the Clippers.
I know, and I would not, and I'm not going to bet on the Clippers. So I consider them strongly, but at the end of the day, I just can't bet on them. So I'm
made that mistake last year.
I'm not going to say Clippers. The Nuggets, clearly are stacked. Should be the favorites. Suns, the Suns are strong. I think they'll finish number 2. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to run it back and have a rematch from 2 years ago. I've got the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals for this year. That's my way too early prediction.
Okay.
All right. So, who you got winning the championship?
I got the Celtics winning the championship.
Oh, Diego is a man. I'm gonna get you the chain, man. I'm gonna give you the chain. I'm gonna give you the Boston hat. You gonna take my spot. You're gonna be wearing the Celtic gear in season 2?
Nah, I trust the Warriors to make. This is way too early, so we still got time. All I need is one more move. One move. One move.
Well, it won't. Well, okay. So even if you do,
this is the way too early.
Okay, but if you pick the Warriors like the beginning of the season, or even if you just do it at the beginning of the playoffs, and I stick with them the whole time, I technically would be. I would have believed in them more.
So, are you gonna pick the Warriors?
To win the championship? No, I'm going with the Boston Celtics. Okay. So I've got the Warriors, Celtics. We're gonna run it back. Celtics are gonna get their revenge. I've got Celtics as the way too early pick to win the title. So we'll revisit this when the season starts, and then of course before the playoffs, those will be the official. But as it stands right now, that's what I got.
Okay.
All right. Cool, man. Well, hey, man, it's been awesome. We finished season 1. You know, we had our pilot shows. It's been cool to, just see you grow over the last year and a half, and then the last year or so of this season. But season 2 starts in about a week and a half, where we'll be giving our fantasy football rankings, starting with wide receivers mid-July. And then every week we've got an episode. We're doing running backs, we're doing quarterbacks, we're doing tight ends. Desmond Clark will be visiting us a lot. And then, of course, when the regular season starts, then you already know we've got every week our shows will be happening. And we're looking to another adjustment that we're going to make for season 2 is we'd like to have our shows all come out at the same time, so you know exactly when they're going to come out. For season 1, it's been a little, all over, just depending on what's going on in sports and what's going on with our schedules. So with season 2, I think we've looked at Saturday mornings to be when we release our shows. So we're really going to push for that. Now, that's going to give you a small amount of time during the football regular season to see who we've picked before the games, but we think that's the best time. So we'll have a short or a really short episode, or probably just a short to announce our Thursday night games. So we'll have like something that we put out on Wednesday to announce the Thursday night games. It'll be a short. But as far as our official shows, those we're looking to release those like 8 a.m. Every Saturday morning. So check out episode 1 of season 2, July 15th, Saturday, July 15th at 8 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. Eastern will be our official time going forward. All right, man. Well, hey, let's get out here, enjoy the rest of July 4th. Yep. I've got some grilling and cooking to do, so I do my thing, man, so we can eat good. So I'm gonna get out here, get this fired up, man, get this charcoal and everything going, man, because it's July 4th, baby.
Okay, man. Sure. All right. We want to see that grill. Seems pretty rusty. So
all right. We're gonna see. It may or may not need to be cleaned a little bit, but that's okay, man. Let's just take a few seconds and bam, we're gonna get into it, man. Eat some good food. I got you. I got you covered.
You got it.
Okay. I got you covered. All right, man. Well, let's get on out of here. We'll see y'all next time. See you July 15th, season 2. Until then, pick 'em pros.